Hello Year 11, I am Miss Huddlestone and I'm here to discuss my subject at A-Level, English Literature. I'm going to let you know what the course is about, let you know why I think you should consider it, and hopefully answer some of the questions you might have had at open evening. So I want to start by letting you in on some of the quotes that I got when I asked some of my students that I taught historically why they studied literature at A-Level, and looking back on it now, what it meant to them. So both these students that I've interviewed here, they are now in their first and second year at university, and they're both taking subjects that are quite largely based around the skills that they learnt through literature. So Rosanna said that in my experience, it's the most educating subject. Yes, you're learning how to pick apart texts and pen convincing essays on them, and those skills are critical for life. But through character and all the glorious bits in between, you're also learning the sentiments of what makes a good human. As a creative writing graduate, there's nothing more empowering to me than seeing myself mirrored in a renowned, strong-willed character. So I really appreciated that, because I do strongly feel that my subject is something that enriches you as a person, as an individual. It helps you find your voice and really articulate how you see and understand the world. The second student that I asked was Emma. I taught her a couple of years ago. She did exceptionally well, and she's again studying at university in a subject that is quite largely complementary. And she said this: while other subjects can become repetitive, English literature constantly evolves and remains enticing. It's a refreshing break from the sometimes rigidity of other subjects. English gave me confidence and developed my creative mind, factors which still influence me in my further studies. So again, it's not a subject that you take, you get your grade, you move on, and never remember, the 101 facts you might have memorised. It's a subject that, again, you carry with you through life. It's a way of making sense of the world. And just that idea of something to give you confidence in your day-to-day life was brilliant. Something that I asked my Year 11s was, what sorts of questions might you ask me if we were at open evening in real life? And one of them was, what sorts of jobs could I go into if I were to take English literature? Well, there's a pretty long list, and I've not included an extensive or exhaustive list here, just the top few. But I've also made a little list here, I'll get them all up on the screen, of the sort of key skills that you'll take with you. And you can look on the left hand side, you can pause this video now if you like. But these skills are pretty intrinsic to day-to-day life in whatever career you might go into. How to analyse, interpret situations, how to construct a coherent and convincing argument, creative problem solving, different ways of reading, being able to deal with unseen text or information you haven't met before. That goes all the way down to dealing with your finances or letters that you might receive. It really is such an intrinsic subject to your day-to-day well-being. But those jobs that I know you're waiting for. In the media, any job that works in the media deals in language, deals in interpretation and communication. So of course, journalism being a prime example. I know that one of my Year 13s is applying to university for a journalism course, having done English literature and English language actually at A-Level. PR, public relations, publishing. So being on the other end of the next great work of fiction and editing or publishing those works, becoming a writer or an author, teaching, advertising, marketing, law, anything really in the public sector. So, working in any of these areas, it's really important that you have the ability to communicate, to work with others, to be empathetic, understanding. All of those skills are really key. So as you can see, not an extensive list or exhaustive, but definitely things that lots of people are interested in. And it's okay to not know now, by the way, what you'd like to go into. But just know that the subject is very highly regarded by universities, and it is a subject that is a brilliant all-rounder. So at Chauncey, we have chosen certain pathways in terms of what you study. Now, I know it's not the most exciting thing to talk about right now, so I'll be brief, but everyone always asks me, what do we study? Okay, so look on the left-hand side, you've got your first paper in the exam. We have chosen, where the star is, the tragedy paper. So for tragedy, we look at Othello by Shakespeare, Death of a Salesman, which is our modern drama and play by Arthur Miller, and a selection of poems by my favourite, John Keats, the Romantic. So that is your first paper. It will be on aspects of tragedy. Okay, so reading those texts as tragedies. The second one in the middle there, paper 2, we chose political and social protest writing. And students really love this. We study the Handmaid's Tale, The Kite Runner, and poems by William Blake, who you may already have met through London in your Power and Conflict poem. Okay, and the last thing is, at A-level there is coursework. Okay, something you are not used to, but it's worth 20%, and it's a brilliant buffer in the exam. Not only is it that, but it's also a way of being really independent, of choosing texts that you're passionate about and writing creatively on them. There is an opportunity for some creative writing in the coursework if you choose that path. So like I say, 2 exam papers, 2 bits of coursework which make up your coursework pack, and you've got 80% on exam, and 20% on your coursework. So there they are, your drama texts, your Shakespeare play, and your pre-1900 texts, which is our 4 rather cynical poems by Keats for tragedy. Okay, and then paper 2, your Kite Runner, your modern texts, your further text, which is the Handmaid's Tale, and your poetry, your pre-1900 texts, songs of innocence and experience. The one thing I wanted to say about that second paper is, and you'll want to know this, is it's open book. So unlike GCSE, where you do not get any of the books in the exam, in one of your exams, your paper 2, you get clean copies of the text in with you in the exam. So yes, there will be some learning of quotations inevitably, but in one of the exams you will have the text with you. So I won't say too much about coursework because we're way off, but essentially you do 2 pieces. One has to be on a novel, one has to be on a collection of poetry, but you will get to choose that. You will have some ownership there, of course, with some intervention and some guidance from your 2 teachers. Now, I'm very aware that I need to be quick and wrap this up, so I'll stop waffling on. But what it really comes down to with my subject is this. Number 1, do you love reading? It's absolutely essential that you have a passion for the written word, that you enjoy reading and debating texts, discussing them, that you're vocal about them. Okay, that you do read, really key. Do you perform in extended writing? Okay, in exams, your essays, it is an essay-based subject. It is highly academic. Okay, you will need to be able to perform under timed conditions, okay, in developed, coherent and confident paragraphs. Do you enjoy debate and discussion in the lesson? Okay, obviously at A-level it's much smaller classes, so your voice will need to be heard. You'll be vocal, you'll foster your own individual style of writing. Okay, you'll create for yourself a sense of flair. Do you see it enriching your life? Do you see the value of my subject? If you do, then it might well be for you. Okay, so it's highly academic, but skill's not enough. You gotta have voice and you've got to have passion. Okay, those are the key ingredients that for me are essential. The last thing I wanted to say, and this was another question that cropped up with my year 11s, what subjects go well with English literature? So you can think about if your choices complement one another. And they don't have to, by the way, but some people prefer that they do. So I think, in my humble opinion, that literature goes well with drama. Obviously, we study drama, and then drama is a means of performing, interpreting, creating drama. So really symbiotic as a subject with literature. Media, again, it's the study and creation of the written word. History, we do of course study the context of certain texts, and history is enriching for that reason. English language is the study of language, but also how it evolves over time, and we study obviously pre-1900 text, Shakespearean language, so English language is really enriching too. Sociology, psychology, philosophy and ethics, and even art and photography. Okay, you've got your creative subjects, but also some academic subjects as well. Okay, so I'm not going to carry on, but it's very clear for me that I love my subject, and I'm sure it's clear for you as well. If it's one that you're enjoying at GCSE, and you can see yourself enjoying at A-level as well, then that's excellent. If you feel that it's intimidating, that it will be brand new, it won't. Okay, it's pretty much what it says on the tin. It's the study of literature. Obviously, there's a big, gap, a big jump in our expectations and the quality that we need from you. But it is more of what you do at GCSE, just of course more challenging. But essentially, it will leave a mark on your life, the study of literature. It will be an indelible one, a long-lasting one. Okay, it really does create knowledge of the world, and it matures you, is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully I've answered any questions you might have had. What do we study? How is it tested? Is there coursework? What subjects go well? What sort of future careers might I, launch off from? And anything in between. I would love for you to take my subject, but it needs to be for you. You need to have passion, you need to have skill, but passion and ambition goes a long way. Okay, so if you have any further questions and you want to know anything more, then please feel free to pop me an email. I am katie.huttlestone@chauncey.org.uk, and I'd be more than happy to help you in answering any questions you may still have. But apart from that, that is English literature.